Hello students, my name is Sybil Cannon and I am your English teacher for this semester. I'm truly excited about that. I'm very glad that you chose Northwest and that you chose my class. I want you to know that I am available for you and want to help you in any way that I can. I truly want you to succeed. One of the reasons, and primarily the main reason that I teach English, is to equip you for your future years of college and also just for life. You know, texting language and the language of twittering and all of those things are fine to communicate with your friends, but there will be a time when you will need to communicate something very important to you, and you want to do it well. You want to do it in a way that will emphasize the importance, and also you want to do it in a way that is grammatically correct. And that is important to employers, and someday it will be important to you. I know that some of you are right out of high school, and this may be just a review. Some of you are adult students and you haven't been in school for quite some time, so I hope this will help you as well. Sometimes when you want to give directions to someone, you just have to talk to them in order to do it. I have been teaching online English for several semesters, and I have found that there are a few grammar concepts that seem to be difficult for students to understand, or at least to put into practice. So I want to go over a few of them with you. I am going to be making a series of 4 videos that will be available to you so that you can go back and look at them again if you're having trouble with these concepts. And the very first concept that I want to talk to you about is just about sentence structure. There are some major grammar errors that count off a lot when you're writing essays, and I want to help you master those so that that won't be a problem for you. The first thing I want to talk to you about is the sentence fragment. In every sentence, there has to be a subject and a verb. If you lack either of those, then you don't have a sentence. Now, sometimes there can be a phrase that has a subject and a verb, but because it is a dependent clause rather than an independent clause, it is considered a fragment. So we're going to go over 2 of those with you right now. Here is one. Every generation has its defining moment. That is a perfectly good sentence. No problem with that. But here is the period, and this is where a new sentence starts. Usually the events with the most news coverage. Well, there is no verb in that sentence, and there has to be a subject and a verb. So my suggestion to you is when you write a paper, you begin with that capital letter and you end with a period, and you read that out loud. You get into a room by yourself so nobody will think you're crazy, and just read that sentence and see if it has a subject and a verb and if it stands alone. This right here, usually the events with the most coverage. One of the ways this could be corrected very easily is just put a comma here and make this a small letter, and it would be connected to an independent clause, and it would be a perfectly good sentence. Now here is one. Because he wanted to go. So now you say, okay, there's a subject and there's a verb. Why is this not a sentence? Well, it's because of this word right here, because. That word causes it to be a dependent clause that has to have something else with it. Words like although I wanted to go, even if he could. Those sentences cannot stand alone. So you have to add something to it. Because he wanted to go, Mom said I couldn't go. Again, the very best test to prove that something is a sentence or not is to read it out loud. Look for the subject, look for the verb, and then see if it could stand alone. Now, another problem in sentence structure is how you punctuate the sentence, whether it is a run-on sentence or a comma splice. Those are also costly errors. Look at this sentence. They told me I would win, I did not. If you read that out loud, you automatically know that there are two sentences here, but there's nothing here. There's got to be something here. They told me I would win, I did not. Several things you can do. You can put a period, then you have two sentences. They told me I would win, I did not. Or you can put a comma and a conjunction. They told me I would win, but I did not. Another way you can correct it is to put a semicolon. They told me I would win, I did not. And usually when you put a semicolon, you try to put some sort of transitional word like however. They told me I would win, however, I did not. So the point is that if you have two complete independent sentences, there has to be something in between those. Now, another error that is made in this is something called a comma splice. The best tennis shoes are made by Nike. They are expensive. Again, we have two complete sentences, and they are joined here by a comma. There has to be more than a comma. It could be the best tennis shoes are made by Nike, but they are expensive. You can put that semicolon there. However, they are expensive. Or you can just put a period, capital letter. The best tennis shoes are made by Nike. They are expensive. Or you can even do something else. This is when you get to be a really good writer. Although the best tennis shoes are made by Nike, they are expensive. There are so many ways that you can correct this, but please just remember that if you have two complete sentences, you must join them together with more than a comma, and there must be something between them. This is just a brief glimpse into some major errors that can be costly when you're writing essays. I'm going to be providing you some exercises to help you review this concept. In fact, as soon as you finish watching this video, please go to the quiz and take the quiz and let me know how you did. Well, I will be able to see that because I'll see your grade. But if you're having a really hard time understanding this, I hope that you will email me or call me and we'll discuss it some more. Thank you, and I look forward to the class this semester.